Now it's time for Movie Friends with your hosts Michelle and Seth. We're talking film without pretension. We're finding cats that are unexpected. We'll watch a movie, film, or schmovie, and we want you to join our journey. So subscribe and share this podcast, or this might just be the last of the Movie Friends. We're movie friends. We want to be your movie friends.
Hey, welcome to Movie Friends. I'm here with my friend Jamila, who didn't have time to rent a tux.
Hi, I'm here with my friend Seth, who I don't think he's ever worn a tux before in his life. I really find that hard to imagine.
That is actually very true. I have definitely never worn a tux before.
Not even on your wedding.
No, definitely not. Jamila, you're here.
I'm here, yeah. I'm not physically here, but I'm here, yeah.
All right, yes. Very exciting. If you're listening to this episode and you're saying, hey, where's Michelle? What's happening here? Michelle is on vacation this week. And for about 3 years, we've been talking about doing Twilight. And Jamila has been waiting patiently. And so the stars kind of aligned. And Jamila's filling in for Michelle this week. So thank you, Jamila.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Are you excited to dive into the world of Twilight?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. I was a Twihard.
Now, okay, is Twihard offensive?
Why would it be offensive? Is it like some slur I didn't know?
Well, I wasn't part of the Twilight phenomenon, and so I always heard people called Twihards.
Oh,
and so I just thought it was like a mean,
derisive way. Well, maybe we kind of like re-championed it. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm not going to use that word because I don't feel that I've really like.
What do you say? You just say Twilight fan?
Yeah.
Okay. Lame.
I just say I like the Twilight movies. Anyway, hey, so what's going on? What are you up to?
Well, it's actually like really kind of folksy in LA today. It's really, I was going to ride my bike to the beach, but it was raining, which would be nice if I wasn't expecting to be active. I mean, it's nice and cozy. It's good talking about forks, temperature. It's kind of chilly, and that's why I'm wearing my robe.
What temperature is it out in California?
Bro, it's probably like 70. I don't know. It's not even like cold. But it's like cold for here.
California cold?
And then inside the houses are always colder than it is outside. Yeah, it's California cold.
It is also cold and rainy here, but in New York that means it's like 50 degrees.
Right, yeah.
As a person who hates the outside and fun, this is like my favorite time of year.
My favorite time of the year is fall and spring because I feel like they're the least extreme parts, you know? Summer and winter are very extreme. It doesn't need to be that cold and it doesn't need to be that hot, but when it's just kind of getting into there, it's fine. And I love the fall because I love autumn. I love the changing of the leaves, so I'm very much missing back home. Like, it's like so stupid. Right. Like, at least like during like winter and Christmas, you can do like like a Christmas in July kind of thing. Like, it's not, you don't do that here, you know. Nobody brings out like some fake fall tree or whatever, but I miss it. I'm sorry, this has nothing to do with Twilight. I mean, kind of, because she was always talking about like, I hate it here, but I'm here because I want Edward, that bitch. Like, that was like the first thing she would talk about. Like, it's so gross and wet. And he was like, that's so funny because that's exactly what I am. I'm pale and gross and wet. I don't know. It would have
last
been so
movie,
funny to do the first one. The first one is so funny. It's so funny.
it's really something. You know, last episode we talked about Eclipse, and I said that like the movies kind of get better, I guess, from like a technical standpoint, you know, but then
Right.
they kind of lose what's special about them.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
the first one is so odd and quirky, it kind of like hooks you. And then by the time you get to Eclipse, it's like,
You can also kind of tell like the actors aren't really like sure of what their characters are or what they're supposed to be doing. I think that's part of the charm. Like when I was talking about like it's so funny, like just the way he acts, especially compared to this movie, the way Robert Pattinson acts, how awkward he is, how awkward they are with each other. I guess that's just kind of showing like, oh, this is young love and they're just now meeting. But I really think they were just like, I have no idea what I'm doing right now. And then by this movie, he's kind of more stoic and just kind of like complacent.
Yeah.
Like I'm Edward now. Like I know what I'm doing for this book. You know, like I know what Edward is. I hate him, but I know who he is.
Right. Hey, before we get into our discussion, we got to give a shout out. We had 2 people sign up for Patreon this week.
Awesome.
Cue the glitter cannons. So big shout out and thank you to Derek and Janai. Hey, welcome, and don't be a stranger. Reach out. Maybe you just signed up and you prefer to be left alone, but we don't want to leave you alone. So
No, it's okay. We can leave
feel
you
free
alone.
to reach out, and we'd love to
do what you want.
Yeah. There's actually a lot of people who sign up and then like we never hear from them again. Anyway, hey, thank you very much to Derek and Janai. Very cool, very exciting. And then hey, we got an email.
Oh, nice.
So the subject line is Sharknado, and this is about our episode that we did back in September as part of our Natural Disasters Month. And somehow we decided that a Sharknado is a natural disaster. All right, so the email says, I want to volunteer to be part of Seth's bad day and do a follow-up recording recap. And on that episode, I had described how every 6 months or so, I'll do a whole day of binging like really, really low-rated films. And you know what? I'm just going to say it. I actually think that that's a good idea for an episode. So if anyone would be interested, I'll find a list of movies and we can watch them and then we could do a recap episode. That sounds kind of fun. So they said Delaware has the fewest natural disasters. Because also in that episode, we were like, we don't know where you could move where there's no natural disasters. Because in California, there's like fires, and New York has like hurricanes, and then so apparently Delaware, safest place to be.
Delaware's like the smallest state, isn't it?
Delaware or Rhode Island?
That's probably why.
Yeah. It's not big enough for a disaster.
Yeah, I don't know if that makes any sense. Anyway, I'm sorry.
It made sense to me. He says, I love that you're trying to break down this movie logically. I can't believe that John Hurd was in this, and Sharkula is a movie. P.S. Why Bane? I guess I did my Bane accent that episode. PSS 1000 out of 5. PSSS crazy cast considering the budget, and P with a bunch of S's, tornado and shark emoji. And
this is your
that
brother.
email's from Ben.
Okay.
Hey, thank you, Ben. If you want to be like Ben, you can send us an email, moviefriendspodcast@gmail.com. Hey, if you've been listening along to the Twilight episodes, let us know, man. Let us know what you're thinking. Okay, so before we get into our discussion on Breaking Dawn Part 1, we are going to try to guess what the other person is going to rate this movie. And
we're doing this at the beginning? Oh.
Yeah. Well, we don't reveal what our guess is yet. We just write it down.
Okay.
And then we lock it in.
Because I might change my mind, honestly.
If you change your mind,
okay.
You know what? I'm just gonna say it. You are filling in for Michelle. You can do whatever you want.
Okay. I mean, I have one, but like, honestly, like, I don't know.
All right. My guess is locked in. And for you, if you want to change it throughout the episode, feel free.
Okay. Okay, my guess is locked in. It has to be locked in. I can't change it based on what you say.
I mean,
because I have no idea what you think of it. You know what I think of it because I told you.
no,
I'm asking. I'm sorry. I'm making things complicated.
I don't really know.
It's okay if you want me to lock it in.
The thing is, like, you right now, you are in Michelle's position. So if you guess right, you win her a pickle.
Oh, okay.
Or Michelle and I will just DoorDash you a single pickle.
Like a literal, like a pickle?
Yeah, to eat.
Like an actual pickle?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. So today we are talking about the Twilight Saga, Breaking Dawn, Part 1 from 2011. This is directed by Bill Condon, written by Melissa Rosenberg, edited by Virginia Katz, cinematography by Guillermo Navarro, composed by Carter Burwell, costume design by Michael Williamson, starring Kristen Stewart, Robert Pattinson, Taylor Lautner, Billy Burke, Peter Facinelli, Elizabeth Reeser, and kind of, for like half a second, Michael Sheen. Let's see here. Jamila, you want to hop on your boat and read us our summary?
Yeah, in my boat. Wedding bells are ringing for Bella Swan and Edward Cullen, but not everyone is happy about their union. Jacob has returned from a long journey and is concerned for Bella's safety. Bella and Edward head for Isle Esme to celebrate their honeymoon, but after a bed-breaking wedding night, Bella finds herself pregnant and very, very sick. When news of Bella's pregnancy reaches the werewolves, they vow to destroy Bella and her child. What betrayals and bonds will be forged with the Breaking Dawn? Part 1.
Very good. Very good.
All right.
Okay. Wow. So Breaking Dawn Part 1. Before we really jump into it, I want to ask you, because this is your first time on during this Twilight series, what is your Twilight history?
So I basically got into it in like middle school, I think like 7th grade. My one like really close friend was reading the books, and I knew my mom would not let me read those books. But then the movie was announced, and there was so much hype about it, and I loved reading. My friend let me borrow her book, and I was just secretly reading all of them and watching the movies whenever I could. And then it got to the point where the very last film, my whole entire family actually saw that in theaters for some reason. And if you guys don't know anything about that movie, that is like one of the best theatrical experiences ever. And I can't say why without spoiling it, but it's fantastic. Like, when shit was hitting the fan, I went to the bathroom and I could hear people screaming, and I ran out. And luckily I really didn't miss a lot, but it was great.
Wow.
I feel like I grew to love the fandom more than the actual material.
Okay.
You know, like, and especially around that time, it was so lambasted, and as you get older, you develop some critical thinking skills, and you realize, like, yeah, she probably wasn't like the best protagonist. She probably was kind of like an author avatar. Stephanie Meyer definitely had some issues, but there's a lot of things about the stories that I really enjoyed, and just the nostalgia aspect of it too. I was telling Seth, my favorites were the first two probably, and I think it's because, you know, they're just kind of getting into the characters, into the story, and then the fans also are kind of getting it into it too, and it's kind of feeding itself. And there's just so many iconic moments in those first two films. And then I guess in the last few as well, but yeah, those first two for me are very memorable.
Very cool. Very cool. So this is the beginning of the end. And this was my first time watching this movie. I liked Twilight. I liked New Moon a little bit more. And then I really enjoyed Eclipse. And I was really surprised to hear so many people say that like they really don't like Eclipse. I thought it was pretty good. But my only problem with it is that it pretty much ends where New Moon ends, which is like, okay, we're going to get married. And I know there's a lot of stuff that happens.
They both do that.
Yeah.
That's weird.
And so with this one, I was like, okay, we better, if we don't see this wedding, I'm going to like lose my mind. And so thankfully we see the wedding kind of right off the bat. And I don't want to say nothing happens in this movie, but it does does it feel like they're stretching it out a little bit into two movies?
Yeah. Let me get my notes.
Sure.
But one thing I wrote, I was kind of inspired by something that you said about Esme in particular, that she was just like, I think you said in the Discord that she was just nice and a bunch of hair. And I feel like this entire film was just like hair and soundtrack. That's what this film was. Just like really obvious wigs and really nice soundtrack.
Yeah, like I don't know everything that happens in Breaking Dawn Part 2. I think I can see a version of this that's like 20 minutes long. But one thing that I did like though is that I think it's not until like around 50 or 51 minutes that like anything really bad happens. And so if you like Edward and Bella, you get to kind of see them like have a nice wedding and then go to a nice place for their honeymoon. So I guess it's not the most like thrilling of the movies, but it's kind of like a hangout movie for a little bit.
I guess that's true. Yeah. And there's like some really weird, like I feel like this franchise is known for having unintentional funny moments, but there were some definite moments where they tried comedy that paid off in a way. Like which is also kind of weird, like they're roasting them at their own wedding. You know, when they're just giving the microphone to all these, like, not just like a maid of honor and like a dad, but like the frenemy girl that she kind of ghosted, Anna Kendrick, is like, hey, you're getting married, but you're not captain of the cheerleaders or student body president. Like, why'd you give her the microphone?
Yeah, it was like a revolving door of speeches. Wait, okay, I want to ask you about something, but if this is important later in the next movie, I guess don't spoil it. But there is something that happens towards the beginning of this movie that is just, it happens and then it is just like brushed under the rug and never mentioned again. And I'm like, wait a minute, I want to hear more about this. And that is Edward reveals to I can't even say it without laughing.
Oh, you okay?
Edward reveals
that he's
to
a
Bella.
virgin?
No, that he used to be like a serial killer killing superhero.
Oh, and you thought this is so funny? I feel like when people, you know,
I didn't necessarily
especially
think
like
it was
haters,
funny, but I was like, let's talk about this a little bit more.
I mean, it's kind of similar to like, I was about to call her Renesmee, Rosalie's whole backstory, isn't it? Where she killed like her fiance or whatever. No, I guess I was just thinking of Interview with the Vampire and how like Lestat is forcing Louis to be this killer, and he wants to rebel against that. And it's like the opposite with Edward, where Carlisle's like, no, let's be good. And Edward's like, no, I want to be bad. And then you think he's going to stalk that woman and kill her, but then he's just killing these guys who were going to kill her. And it's like, well, then you're not really bad. Like, I wish sometimes these movies would try to be a little bit, you know, like, it's like, and then he's like, no, you don't understand, Bella. They were actually humans. Like, you're constantly contradicting yourself, because when she was about to get raped by those guys in the first movie. You were
Right.
like, you don't understand all the evil that was in their souls.
Right.
Like, okay, either people are really bad, there's some really bad humans, or, you know, you can have empathy for them, but you can't change your mind like that. Like, and she's like, no, it's okay. You were just like, and he's like, no, you don't understand. Yeah, I guess it was kind of weird as far as how it was included. Because how does it fit into this movie, like, thematically? I don't know.
Right. And I guess
what is it saying about what's going on in this movie?
Well, I think the only thing that it ties to is the very like pro-life sanctity of life thing that comes up later on with, you know, well, it's a fetus and it's a baby, and Bella like going out and being like, I'm going to die so that I can bring this baby to term. And Edward has that whole thing where he's like, no, they were people, and like as they were dying, I saw myself as they saw me as a monster. And that's the only thing that I can think of how it thematically lines up with the rest of the movie.
I guess, even though, you know, so then Edward's contradicting himself again because he's very much like, no, let's kill the baby, you know.
But like, I just want to know, like
baby's
it just
sucking her
seems like
dry like a straw, like.
Oh my gosh, I know. It just seems like such a bombshell like idea to drop into the series, to be like, Edward used to read people's minds and murder men who were going to murder other people. To me, like, that's not like a throwaway.
I mean, what the hell else would he be doing?
Yeah, I guess. But then
he had to be doing some cool shit.
But then, you know what? He should keep doing that. And like, as someone who can read people's minds, Edward should not be a vegetarian vampire. He should be a crime fighter.
That would be cool if he was the only one who wasn't.
Yeah.
That would actually fit with his character. You know, he always is kind of like the outsider in his family. He was the only one who wasn't screwing one of his siblings, you know? Because he was getting off on killing mortals, you know, and he was the only one. And then he meets this person whose blood he can't resist. And he's like, wait, I don't want to kill you. I'm actually interested in you because I can't read your mind. Right. That would have been more interesting if she did that. Because the whole entire series, he's talking about, I'm a monster. And then you find out they're not even eating humans. So how are you guys monsters?
Yeah, Edward and Bella should move to New York City. Yeah, they should be like crime fighters together.
Yeah, well, maybe she'll write that book next.
Yeah, I don't know. It just kind of bothered me because I was like, how do you go from like stopping women from being murdered to just being like, I'm not going to do that anymore?
It gets old.
I mean, I guess it did. Yeah. Okay. So we're here. We get to the wedding. How did you feel about this wedding?
Well, first of all, I want to talk about her mom. I'm sorry. I know it's not really important for everything, but I won't spend too much time on it. But her mom gets my damn nerves because she's crazy. Because any normal mom would be like, yo, why are you getting married? And she's happy. She's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, what? You don't even know this man.
Yeah.
The one time you met him was in the hospital after your daughter got hurt. I'm sorry. I get so mad. Because I saw Roofman the other day, and I loved that movie. But I also had issues with the mom in that movie. She's so irresponsible as a mom. And I'm just like, Charlie's the only one who cares about her. Charlie's the only one who's like, wait, you're going to Switzerland? What are you doing? Mm-hmm. What are you doing? What's happening? What's happening?
She does meet... is her name Renee? That's her name, right?
Her name's Renee.
Yeah.
That's what Renee is named after.
Edward again when Edward and Bella go to Florida, and Edward just hangs out inside the whole time.
What movie was that?
That was Eclipse.
Well, that's why I don't remember that, because I never rewatched Eclipse. Well, see, that's even more evidence. Like, she just got this moody boyfriend who is probably like abusing her, and like she's gonna get married to him. Like, no, it doesn't make sense. That did seem weird when she gets the
the invitation, and she's like, "It's happening!"
Right.
Like,
Like,
yeah,
they're
your
here.
18-year-old kid is
Like,
getting married. Yeah.
doesn't she sound like Poltergeist
Ugh.
kid?
Yes.
But then I also want to talk about how much I did not like Alice in this movie, because it's wrong to force a bride to do what's against, like, comfortable for her on her wedding day. If Bella wants to be barefoot, she should be barefoot, especially when you're walking on the damn forest floor. Why should she wear heels on the forest ground? Like, it doesn't make any sense. She's just constantly like, you need to be more girly. Like, you knew who she was. Why shouldn't she do what she wants? I'm taking it way too seriously, but she really pissed me off with that. But I thought the ceremony was really, she really did. And I never, like, really realized it before. I thought the ceremony was really nice. It was gorgeous. It was beautiful. Like, when this movie came out, like, everything about that wedding, like, everybody was obsessed with. They're obsessed with those ugly rings, just everything.
I agree about Alice. I guess Alice likes planning parties, and that's like part of her personality now, is like, oh, I'm Alice and I plan parties, and like, okay, that's cool. But yeah, like she says, I think when she gives a speech at the wedding, she says something like, Bella, now that you're a married woman, you need to learn about fashion, or she says something like that, right?
Yeah. Pissed me off.
Yeah, and it was like, I don't like this change that they've imposed on.
It does kind of
Alice.
feel like
But
it changed, especially because, like, she's always talking about, like, Alice is the one, you know, aside from, like, Edward, that I'm, like, closest to. Like, she's the one who I feel most like a sister to. A sister wouldn't be like this. Like, I accept my sister. She's completely different from me, but I'm not going to be like, you have to be more like this or more like that. Like, no, especially on your wedding day.
right. I do like this wedding. I think that it's nice. Well, Kristen Stewart as Bella is really like playing up like how uncomfortable Bella is, like wearing the dress and wearing the shoes, and everyone's looking at her until she sees Edward, and then she kind of like regains her composure. I thought that was nice. And then I really like when
The
they
dream.
kiss, the camera. Well,
Oh,
no, the
everybody
dream was.
disappears. No,
Yeah.
but I saw. Remember how Mike was at the top of the heap? I was like, oh, Seth's gonna like that.
Yes. This
Did you
movie
see Mike? He was at
has
the top of the heap.
maybe the least amount of Mike than any of the other movies, and I'm just so glad.
And they're constantly making fun of him too.
Yes, I'm so glad that the Mike time is over. And yeah, it was nice to see him dead finally, even if it was just a dream. But no, I love how when they kiss, the camera kind of revolves around them, and it's reminiscent of that really famous scene from Breaking Dawn where Bella's in her room and the camera's revolving around her. But now it's like everyone else has kind of
You mean
disappeared,
New
and they're
Moon?
just together. And yeah, sorry, New Moon. I keep saying Breaking Dawn.
You said Breaking Dawn, but New Moon. Because it's
It's
all
so hard to
celestial.
keep
It gets
track of.
confusing.
I know, it's like it's just moon stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I it's nice.
Yeah.
And then
I also thought it was interesting that she didn't have a bachelorette party, but he had a bachelor's party.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they say at the bachelor party that it's gonna involve a few bears and mountain lions, and I'm like, are you just gonna go eat them?
Yeah, they're just gonna eat them.
Like, are you gonna go
But
fight them?
I just really wanted her to say, "Oh my." Didn't you just like want her to be like lions and tigers and bears?
Right,
Oh my,
right.
like.
But yeah, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool, but also I feel really bad for whatever bear is about to be eaten by these vampire bachelors. Whatever. I don't even know what a Bella Swan bachelorette party would look like.
Yeah, maybe she was just like, I have had it with you, Alice. I'm not doing any more of your traditional shit. I'm going to sleep. And she was like, okay. As long as you wear these heels, we won't have a bachelorette party. Like, also, I thought it was weird, because he's very traditionalist. that they spoke to each other. They saw each other the day before the wedding. I just feel like Edward would be like, no, we're not doing this. This is bad luck. Like he would say that. I just, I guess they had to so they could talk about his past being a super villain or whatever. But I just don't think he would realistically be like, I gotta tell you this right now. Like he would have sent her a text,
Right. Send her a text. Oh, by the way, Bella, I never told you.
By the way,
I'm a murderer.
She's like, bitch, I know.
It is kind of like a crazy, like, it's crazy to show up like the night before your wedding and be like, all right, you don't know everything about me. I used to kill people. Like, I don't know. And she's just like so unfazed. Like she's like, yeah, those were bad people. You saved people's lives. But I don't know. I mean, I kind of think I would feel like that. Like if my wife just like sat me down one day.
I mean, she was like that from the start.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
if Jean Marie sat you down and was like, hey, I killed murderers, you would be like, oh, we can't get married. No, she
No,
killed murderers.
I would be like Bella. I would be like, hey, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
You would say it like that, so unconvincingly?
Yeah. Well, I think in the back of my mind, I'd think, oh no, I hope that I don't do something that would cause you to kill me.
Become a murderer?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So at the reception, we are introduced to some more vampires. And we get like vampire cousins, I think, from like South America or something.
Yeah, they're basically like other covens of like people that they're friends with. They're not related to any of these people either.
Yeah, and I take it that all of these vampires are also like the vegetarian type.
Yeah.
So we also meet very quickly Urena, who plays.
Isn't her name like Maggie something? But she was on Lost.
Yeah, Maggie
Remember
Grace.
She played Shannon?
Maggie Grace from Lost.
Oh, I got her name right. And from Taken.
And from Taken, yes.
She played the daughter who didn't know how to run.
Mm-hmm. And Urena is very mad because the wolves are there, and the wolves ate Laurent, who I guess she was in love with. And she says
I guess
that
I forgot that too.
Wanted to become like them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of crazy because she says, like, Edward's like, hey, Laurent was going to kill Bella. And right in front of Bella, she's like, I don't believe that. And I was like,
right.
Man, that's a really intense thing to say to someone like on their wedding day.
That's when I would have been like, no, you guys all messed up here because why the hell was she invited? You guys knew that she had a problem with her. Why would you invite her to the wedding? Whoever did the invitations, they messed up with that. You could have invited, just not invite the whole family at all, because if you invited all of them and you didn't invite her, then it would be a whole thing. Like, oh, we forgot. Oh, yeah. You know? Why even have it? Because I'm sorry, I'm just spoiled for you. She causes drama later on. It's so annoying.
Oh, I'm sure she does. I mean, some of this stuff, like I said, it feels like the movie is really kind of stretching this out into 2 movies where it probably could have just been 1. But yeah, like I can tell like this is going somewhere.
It's very contrived.
Yeah, you wouldn't hire Maggie Grace just to be like, and then you show up and you're mad. But yeah, I was kind of shocked. I was like, man. But to your point, they never should have invited her. Yeah, like, hey, let's invite the girlfriend of the guy who tried to eat Bella like 6 months ago.
Which also, that whole thing, I know that was a past movie, but it was so weird. And even though we don't know a lot about the character of Laurent, it felt so out of character and contrived as well for him. Like, why did he? Because he was one of the nice people. He was the one who tried to help them get James. And then all of a sudden he's like, you know what? You smell really good. I want to eat you. And then he gets got.
Right.
It's stupid.
Well, I kind of believed what he said, which was that he thought he was doing Bella a kindness by killing her quickly because Victoria was going to like torture her to death.
Oh, okay. I forgot he said that. I don't know. I still thought that was weird.
Right, but I also think he could have been like, I'm going to help you escape. Yeah. Right in the middle of the reception, Jacob shows up, and they're kind of like dancing, and they're good friends, and obviously they have feelings for each other or whatever, but it's kind of nice. And then basically just through context clues, I guess, Jacob realizes that Bella and Edward are going to have sex without Bella being turned into a vampire first. And he loses it.
What? You're a book? Oh my god.
He's like, you'll kill her. He's like, tell me this is a joke. This is a sick joke. I was like, wow, this is like TMI Jacob.
Yeah, we also missed the very beginning. I think the very beginning of the movie, he gets his invitation and he goes, like, this whole entire movie, he's just like going wolf. Just like takes his clothes off, goes wolf. Like, how many clothes do you think they go through? Like, you think they just shop at Goodwill? You think they have a Shein account? Because it's like, I just need some cheap ass clothes because I'm gonna tear it up anyway. Like,
I don't know. It's funny because I was thinking about how everyone makes fun of like Jacob for like only wearing shorts and never a shirt, and the Hulk does that, and we don't laugh at him. But the difference is, like, when Bruce Banner hulks out, he's still wearing his pants. And then I was like, well, I guess you couldn't have like these giant wolves just like wearing pants, like stretchy shorts.
But it's interesting because I seem to remember the explanation in the book is like, okay, so they wear shorts because it's like it's one thing having to take off, pants, but having to take off pants and a shirt, but they don't ever take off their pants. So they're like literally just splitting through their pants. And then I guess they just are naked or they rely on other people to get them clothes. So that's like really expensive. I'm sorry. And then another
agree.
thought I had that I maybe I knew when I was younger, like when I was really in the fandom, is because I don't think you guys said this in the first episode. They actually this one guy, he was supposed to play Jacob, and he was actually indigenous, and he was one of Jacob's friends, but he refused to cut his hair. And I was just watching this movie, I was like, wait, why is their hair cut? Because it can't even be like, oh, the hair gets in their way when they're running. They turn to wolves when they run. Right. They just have fur. It don't make sense. Why do they cut their hair?
That is a good point. Yeah, I never really thought about why, other than that they cut their hair and they get a tattoo. And so, like, maybe in the book they explain, but they never do in the movie. And so, yeah, to your point, like, there was no reason why that guy couldn't be in it. Because if you're never going to explain why they cut their hair in the movie, just don't have them cut it.
Yeah, it feels racist. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, hey, all of the Colette stuff is it's interesting hearing it from their perspective. I don't know about it. It's a bummer.
Yeah, but anyway.
Yeah, so Jacob.
That's like your official catchphrase.
What?
But anyway.
You
guys always say that, yeah.
So Jacob shows up and gets really, really mad. He's also like got like kind of a little mustache going that's supposed to like express to us that he's been out in the wild.
Oh, he said he was in Canada. He was like, I think I was in Canada. Like, you don't even know.
Right.
That's how mad he was.
So it's like, I don't know. I just feel like they're not very good at like keeping the whole giant wolf thing a secret. Like, you're telling me a giant wolf has just been running around all of Canada?
Giant CGI wolf.
Something that you had mentioned to me when you watched the movie was like the giant wolves just run in front of a car.
So do you remember? Did you look at that scene? Because I was gonna wait until we got there.
Oh, okay.
But
we'll
it was
hold
so
off.
weird. Okay.
Okay. So they go on their honeymoon. They fly to Rio, and then they get on a speedboat. They go to Isle Esme, which Edward says was a gift from Carlisle.
Carlisle.
So did
Yeah.
Carlisle gift Edward and Bella this island?
No, they're just letting them stay there. They're like, we have an island.
Okay.
We wash the sheets. Everything's fine.
Well, luckily, we have a few housekeepers who also just so happen to be experts in local vampire lore and mythology.
Yeah, because these books constantly need like indigenous people to explain everything else that's going on.
This was the part where I was like, okay, this is racist and crazy.
Yeah.
I really could not believe it. I was like, okay, so we literally only meet 2 people from this area, and one of them just so happens. Oh, I wrote it down. Edward says, what does he say?
Even when they're in Rio, she's like, wait, we're not going to stay?
Right.
And she's like, I'm loving this.
Later on, Edward says, her people have legends. Maybe she knows about this.
Yeah.
It's like, Edward,
brown people be knowing.
You are the legend. Why don't you know about this?
No, this is the funniest thing about this franchise. They're constantly going on Google like vampire baby, like why don't you know?
Oh my god.
Like she's like, wait, what is a cold one? Like
Right. Cold.
Well, at least with Bella, it's like, well, you don't know anything, but like, how come you guys don't know anything? And then they have all these friends, all these coven friends. It don't make sense.
There needs to be a group chat. There needs to be like a Discord channel just for like, hey, babies with humans and vampires.
I mean, he had like 45 graduation hats. And you're telling me you don't know everything there is to know about vampires?
Oh my god, yeah. I'm glad that we're out of the high school part because that was just the stupidest thing to me. Like, so are you telling me now that Bella and Edward are married, are they going to move with Carlisle somewhere else and they're going to go back to high school? Like Bella's going to go back to high school for the rest of her life? No,
I think the idea is like they'll stay here for a while, you know, or like maybe a little bit longer than they should when they should be aging. And then after a while, the whole family will move to Alaska. And they'll just do that like every 20 years or so.
Sure. I hate it so much. Okay, so they get there and Edward is like, hey, do you want to go for a swim? And Bella says, I could use a few human minutes, which I thought was like, is that like their polite way of saying like, I need to use the bathroom? But then, yeah, I kind of thought that this was like a funny little montage of like Bella like brushing her teeth, but like not being able to put toothpaste on. It's like, is this your first time brushing your teeth?
Down. And then Alice pissed me off again because then she opens her trunk and it's all stuff that Bella doesn't feel comfortable wearing. Right. Like, can you leave this woman alone?
Right. She kind of like psychs herself up, and I think she says, don't be a coward. So she goes out and meets Edward on the beach, and she's just naked and he's naked. And I don't know, like I kind of thought that this was nice. Like I liked seeing them just.
It was nice.
Yeah, like playing chess together and like hanging out. And yeah, obviously they have sex and he breaks the bed. And also like she has all these bruises all over her. And this was the part where I was
she doesn't realize until he points them out.
Right. But I was like, this is starting to get like really odd, muddled, maybe not the greatest example for young women.
Children. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you said it was like, oh, it's nice. It's a nice romantic moment. It just made me think of, because I was talking to my friends about it, how like, it occurred to me because I don't know if you guys really get into it in any of the other episodes. Like, so like obviously part of the appeal of this franchise is it's like very romantic and it's very erotic or whatever, suggestive. Like this is many girls' like first, you know, sexual awakening. I never really felt that way about this series because they were just all so pale and so gross. But there were really nice moments. Like, we'll get into it later, but it's definitely I made this tweet that I was like, okay, that's kind of my one of my happies is the way he's looking at her when she's falling asleep on the bed. I thought that was cute.
Yeah.
But yeah, he just looks, it's so weird because they're both really attractive people, and it's not like I have an issue with pale people in general. It's just the unnaturally paleness of vampires that is so disgusting to me that I never felt anything. That's probably the only reason I'm Team Werewolf.
You are?
These people look insane.
Wow. I didn't know that you were Team Werewolf.
But only in this franchise. Vampires beat werewolf any other day, yeah.
Yeah.
Interview with the Vampire, vampires all the way.
This is something very interesting about this series, is that it's vampires and werewolves, but like all of the rules that you know about vampires and werewolves, it's all gone. Like, these are not werewolves. A werewolf is someone who has been bitten or cursed or bewitched in some way, and then at the full moon loses control of themselves and becomes half man, half wolf, half woman, half wolf, whatever.
Well, Seth, you don't understand. They are cursed. They're cursed to be abusive to their girlfriends, don't you know?
Whoa, really?
To get really upset and beat them up.
Oh,
yeah, that
well,
was the whole
yeah,
thing with Sam and Emily. That's their curse. They can't control it.
But like they can transform at will, and they maintain their sanity while they're transformed.
Yeah.
So like there's no other vampire and werewolf out there. So it's like it's so weird that like she chose this template for this story and then was like, yeah, but I'm just going to make everything up from scratch.
Well, it's not weird when you know who she is and where she's coming from. She's obviously not somebody who's a fan of fantasy. You know, like I said, I think I left a voice note for you. Like the interesting thing about this franchise, it's not from somebody who's interested in any of these things at all, you know, who's not even interested in telling a story. She had a dream about Edward seducing her, and she was like, let me make a whole franchise about how romantic this is. And then, you know, let me make the werewolves, name them after my siblings for some reason. And maybe that's why she
really
friend zones Jacob, because you didn't listen to any of my notes, dude. Like you did.
No, I did. I don't remember you saying that about her siblings.
Yes, I literally told you that. Yeah.
Oh wow. So she has a sibling named Jacob?
They're all named after her siblings.
Wow. She got a lot of siblings. Okay.
Like you. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm not really one to talk, but okay. So while Edward and Bella are off having a good time, Jacob is like sitting on the beach. So he's not even able to play soccer. He's so mad. He's like, if he hurts her, then I'll get to eat Edward.
Yeah, he's like, I remember he was like, they're gonna tell us she fell down the stairs, that she got in a car accident. Like, bro, then do something. Stop talking. He's so annoying.
Yeah,
like,
he is.
Oh yeah, this is something I wanted to tell you. In the book, so the book is like partially from his perspective, and it's just so try hard. He's just like, just being like angsty Jacob the whole entire chapter of his chapter, just doing exactly what this scene is like, oh, she's gonna get, this is gonna happen to her, blah 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 blah. It's like, shut up, Jacob.
Yeah, I mean, you know, in a way, poor Jacob, but yeah. So Sam actually like shuts him down, and he's like, we're not killing the Cullens. We're not killing Edward for turning Bella, blah, blah, blah. And then this is when Jacob is like, imprinting is evil. Imprinting is terrible. Ugh. And it's like, okay, whatever.
Is this the first time they talk about imprinting? Isn't it?
No, they talk about it.
With Sam and Emily and all that.
I think they
In
talk about it
Eclipse?
at the beginning
No,
of
it's
Eclipse.
a new moon. Oh, it's not a new moon?
I think it's at the beginning of Eclipse because
it would make
I don't
sense
think it's a
in New Moon.
No, because it's after all the events of New Moon, because Bella says like, well, have you imprinted on someone? And he's like, no. And she's kind of like shocked by that.
Yeah, it's kind of weird how they just can intrinsically know the difference between imprinting and whatever feelings Jacob has for Bella, because that sounds like imprinting to me. He's crazy over her. Like, let it go.
Let it go. So this is something that the last director did. It's like all of the vampires' paleness is kind of just gone. And then also all of the vampires are just out in the sun, and it's like there's no sparkling. People just kind of, we're just not doing that anymore. So like Edward is like just hanging out with the housekeepers. He's not sparkling. I don't know. It shouldn't bother me because it's like it doesn't really bother me, but I just think it's funny that they were like, nah, we're not doing that.
I mean, they got so much hate for it, so they kind of don't show that as much anymore. Did you want the sparkles?
Bella goes to the bathroom and like you actually see her throw up. Like you actually see Kristen Stewart like spit up stuff. It is gross. I couldn't believe that they like went for that.
Oh, I didn't notice it a lot. Damn, I felt like we skipped a lot.
Oh, I mean, if you want to go back to anything, please feel free.
Well, I don't know if this is kind of related to the whole entire franchise, but I don't know if Michelle ever voiced this. I love their Twilight house. I should have said that earlier. Their Twilight house is amazing. Carlisle's house.
Oh, yes.
This house is fantastic too. Like, I would live here. I feel like I looked it up actually because I always assumed that she, like, you could see at the beginning, she's much slimmer than she was in the previous movie. So I assumed that she had lost some weight. When I look it up, it says it was all just effects.
Wow.
You know?
Wow.
Yeah. But she just looks slimmer to me. Like I said, I actually forgot to look up these lyrics because I remember seeing the subtitles and they were crazy. The lyrics at the altar, the song that's playing right after they kiss.
Oh yeah, Iron and Wine.
Song?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that song was just, the lyrics are just so corny. I just thought they were so funny.
Yeah, I was watching this with my wife, and she was like, "Why is this playing at their wedding?" And I was like, "What do you mean? It's like a nice little song." And she was like, "This is not like a love song." And I was like, "Oh yeah."
Wait, what is it called?
I don't know. I just know that the artist is Iron and Wine.
Okay, I'm sorry. But the lyrics are so funny. Because you made a joke about it, and I just thought it was so funny. Like, they're the same kind of, like, weird kind of cutesy humor as the Alabama, Arkansas kind of vibe.
Yeah. Hey, look, this was the time period, man. It's called Flightless Bird American Mouth.
Even the song is stupid. It's supposed to be dark.
I don't know.
I was a quick, wet boy diving too deep for coins. That's kind of poetic. Okay. Or lost you. American Mouth. Big pill lumen. Now, that was the thing. Now I'm a fat house cat. Like, what? Imagine you just saw, like, your friends kiss. And then you're hearing some guy saying, now I'm a fat house cat. I'm done.
I don't know the lyric. Like, all right, I gotta look up the lyrics to this song.
Wait, I found them. I was saying them aloud to you.
Now I'm a fat house cat, nursing my sore blunt tongue, watching the warm poison rats curl through the wide fence cracks, pissing on magazine photos, those fishing lures thrown in the cold and clean blood of Christ mountain stream. What on earth? Well, I also see that there's a version called wedding version, so maybe they changed some of the words. I mean, yeah,
that fat house cat was in there.
Yeah, it was. The fat house cat wasn't there. I don't know. I guess it's a song about like I was a kid and now I'm older and there's a big pill stuck. I don't know. Like I
You just know,
I don't know
Seth,
what
you
to
just
say.
know that Emmett chose that song.
Oh my gosh. I'll tell you what, if this series ends and we don't get like an Emmett flashback or an Emmett story, I'm going to be real disappointed. I got to tell you.
You're going to be really mad? Maybe you should write it. Send
I'll
it to
write an
Stephanie
Emmett
Meyer.
story. That's fine with me. So yeah, so basically Bella gets pregnant and they're freaking out because they don't even know if that's possible or not. Uh, which I mean, I guess it is possible, but I guess like none of the other vampire couples have babies.
Yeah, well, basically, when you're a vampire, you're sterile. But she's not a vampire, so they didn't really think, oh, well,
But so is Edward.
she can get pregnant. You know what? It made sense, and then you asked me that, and now I'm like, no, it don't make sense.
Right, because that would mean that
It don't make sense.
any female that Edward would have sex with would get pregnant.
But Edward don't be having sex, so like this is his first time having sex.
Right. So is it just the female vampires that can't get pregnant?
Yeah, I guess it's just a female. Yeah, I guess so.
Interesting. Okay.
Weird.
So
I'm sure it's explained in the books.
Yeah. So what this story is like really proposing here is that like what Edward and Bella are doing is like unheard of. Like there are just no vampires and humans that love each other.
Right.
Okay. That's fine. That's fine with me.
At least that's what they're aware of right now, as far as,
Right.
They haven't searched the whole entire globe,
Well, they're searching the whole internet.
And they seem to have, like, it's so funny. They seem to have no curiosity about their own species. It's like, oh, wait, this is happening now. I gotta look up vampire baby.
Right. Edward is looking it up. Carlisle is looking, like, they all have their laptops open.
Like, it's like, did they even use Google or did they use Bing?
I think they were using Yahoo.
They're using Yahoo.
But
Yahoo
like,
Answers. Can you tell me about vampire babies?
It's so weird. Like they don't have like scrolls or like texts. Like Gandalf at the beginning of Lord of the Rings. He's like, hey, I gotta go over to this like citadel and I gotta sort through all these papers, right, to find out what this ring is. And then he finds it. The Cullens are just like, let's all whip out our tablets and I don't know, look to see if there's any vampire baby stuff on the human internet. Like it's not even they log into like vampirego.com or like some secret website. Mm-hmm. Like they're just on the human internet. How do they not know?
Right.
Anyway, so yeah, Bella gets like really crazy sick. And they go back to...
She even says like, I think I feel something. Like already. She's like, I feel something.
Yeah.
Would you like, say, because I think there's a good argument for it. This is like the first Twilight movie that's more of like a typical horror film. Because of like the body horror aspect of it all.
So yeah, so the movie's about 2 hours. I wrote down in my notes and I mentioned it earlier. It's really about like 51 minutes before this kind of happens. And so the movie's kind of split into two where it's like, yeah, there's some drama and there's stuff with Jacob and the other vampires. But for the most part, it's just like kind of a nice little story. And then this happens. In fact, Bella says, my period is late. And when she says that, the music gets very serious. And it's like, it's from that moment that it does kind of take over into like a horror movie. And I don't know about you, but I thought that all of the stuff that they do to make her look thin and sick, it's really, it's intense.
It's terrifying. Yeah.
Yeah. Like she really looks sick.
Okay.
And like,
yeah.
So do they call Jacob or does he just show up? I can't remember.
No. This is what happens. They call Charlie. They give him their little lie. Oh, Bella's staying a little longer. She got really sick. To explain why she didn't come home immediately. And then Jacob comes over to Charlie's house because they're chummy, and he tells him what's going on. And Jacob just intuitively knows, like, no, this is some lie that they told Charlie.
Right.
And then he goes over there and he sees her, and then he sees her get up and he sees the baby. And then he goes and he tells all his stupid werewolf buddies.
Yeah, and it's like it's a big difference from the previous conversation with Sam, where Sam was like, "We are not killing anyone. The Cullens are cool. Everything's fine. We like that Bella's gonna be a vampire." And then Edward, I mean, Jacob is like, "She's pregnant," and all of them just like lose their minds, and they're like, "This kid is gonna eat all the humans. We have to kill Bella and the baby and all of the Cullens now." And Jacob breaks from the pack and stands up to the alpha. I liked this part. I don't know how you felt about it, but I kind of liked Jacob like standing up to Sam.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I guess it is good, you know. I don't know. Jacob's such an asshole. Like, I'm like, okay, whatever you're gonna do, what you're gonna do. He's such an asshole in the way that he does things, and it's like you are in the right, but I wish you weren't such a little asshole. Like even when the only girl in the pack, Leah, who I'm so sorry, but her actress, her and I'm sorry, Boo Boo are so bad. I don't know if they're just bad in these movies, but every single time they talk, I feel like I'm watching Tubi, like I'm like the bad Tubi originals. I'm sorry. But anyway, she's like, well, she's gonna die anyway, which is a legitimate point. Like, you know, at the end of the day, it's like they're kind of like a council, and when it was just Bella, and he's like, oh, we gotta like kill them because of Bella. It's like, well, Bella's just one person, you know, and this is her choice. She's been told repeatedly from the beginning, vampires are dangerous, leave them build. But I don't care. Okay, fine. Then you're gonna die or you're gonna get turned into one. That's out of our like that has nothing to do with the rest of us. But her having a child and then them, you know, not knowing like when it's gonna come, how dangerous it's gonna be. Like, yeah, no, we have to kill her. And I don't even think it's like we have to kill the rest of them. It's just we're gonna kill them because they're not gonna let us get to her. You know, yeah, let's just do that. And just like he's just so combative in the way, and it's just so self-serving because you went from like, ooh, like we should do this thing to no, we should keep her alive, even though he doesn't even care about the baby either. Bella's just basically saying, I want to die, you know, because like they're basically telling her throughout the movie, like this thing is like you can see it, it's killing you.
I don't really understand how much time passes between Bella getting pregnant and having the baby. Do you know?
I don't remember, but I think we're supposed to assume that it moves. I think that was kind of something that was insinuated in the book. Like Renesmee, she ages quicker than most humans, so the pregnancy goes quicker. Like it's double than a normal human pregnancy or something like that.
Because it kind of seemed like maybe a month.
Yeah.
Like it seemed because she does the math at one point. She's like, "How long have we been here?" And he says like 2 weeks or 4 weeks or something like that. Then they go back immediately, and then they call Charlie, and then Jacob shows up. But she's like already like showing. So I don't know. It seems pretty quick, and like I just don't understand. Like you mentioned that this is closer to like a horror movie. This is kind of like you know, Alien, right? With like the chest bursters. Like this thing like rapidly growing inside of you, and like no one knows what it is. You know, there's all this debate about like if it's human or if it's vampire or what it is, or you know, is it a monster of some sort? So yeah, I really didn't understand Bella's like reasoning throughout this whole thing.
Well, I mean, I think it's, you know, the religious messaging, honestly.
Right. So Jacob breaks from the pack and starts his own pack with Leah and Seth. And now Leah and Seth and Jacob are like watching the Cullen residence to help keep it guard. and the Cullens are all like going crazy because they haven't been able to like go out and eat.
Oh, and then there's one thing I want to point out, because like it was definitely a big thing in the books, because she has this weird kind of like she has nothing against her, but Rosalie is obviously not fond of her, and at first
Right.
she thinks it's because she feels like Rosalie was supposed to be with Edward or some crap like that, and she's like, no, I just hate the fact that you want to be one of us, because I didn't want this life. I wanted to get married. He turned me to one to save me. I wanted to have babies, and now I can't have babies. But now Bella is having a baby, and now Rosalie's like, I am your number one fan. I will do anything for you, but mainly for that baby. Like, give me the baby.
Right.
Which is very, very different from how she's been throughout the whole entire series, which is, so it's interesting. Like, everybody else is against Bella keeping this baby, and Rosalie is like, it's not a fetus, it's a baby.
Yeah, and like early on in the whole pregnancy thing, like Bella's like, I have to call Rosalie. And they don't really go into that. And so I was like, why are you calling Rosalie?
Oh, so you just had no idea.
Like, why wouldn't you call Alice? Like, you and Alice have gotten together. No idea. So Esme hands sandwiches to the werewolves. I was like, sure. Yeah, okay. At least they're giving Esme something to do in this movie. Can you explain to me why they did not turn Bella? Like, why didn't they just turn her as she was dying?
They did.
No, I know, but I mean, like, why did they have to wait for the baby to come out?
They didn't have to wait. I think it was just like the commotion of everything, and they weren't expecting her to die right away.
She's in their house for weeks, like suffering and dying. Like, why don't they just turn her?
Oh, that's what you meant. I thought you meant during the delivery.
No.
I don't know. I just presumed that it would have killed the baby, or it would have killed her. Because, they do stress in the books and in the series as well how the transformation is extremely like painful or something. It's like intense. Like it's basically venom going into you. So I don't know. Maybe, yeah, I really haven't read the books in a while, but I get this feeling that it's like something that not every person survives. And looking at her the way she was, I would assume that she wouldn't be able to survive that.
Okay, that makes sense.
Michelle probably knows. I haven't read the book since I was a kid.
So, because Edward can read Jacob's mind, Jacob says something mean about the baby, that the baby probably wants blood, and so they're like, "Yeah, let's give Bella blood," and they do.
No, this is what he says specifically.
Fine.
He says, "I bet he wants something. I bet because they think it's a he. I bet he wants something to sink his teeth into, or something like that."
Right.
I'm sorry, but like Jacob's insults, they're just like, he's just a queen with it, like it's not like regular guy insults.
He's just doing everything through this like scowl of like pouty and like crossing his arms, and it gets a little bit old, honestly. So she's feeling better, and she tells Jacob that if it's a boy, she's going to name it EJ.
Edward Jacob.
For Edward Jacob.
Yeah. Isn't that cute?
No, that's insane.
Yeah.
And then she says, oh, it'll be Renesmee for my mom and Edward's mom. It's like, okay, sure.
She really wanted to be a boy mom.
I can see Bella as a boy mom. Yeah. Bella goes to stand up and is just like bent in half. It's really graphic and horrifying and like upsetting, and yeah.
Oh my god. Like, I feel like that part was like parodied a lot too, but it was really terrifying. Like, basically, because it's we didn't really get into the whole entire pregnancy. They're like, you're not eating, like you keep throwing up, like the baby keeps making you throw up, so we got a bunch of O negative. Do you want to try drinking it? And so she starts drinking blood out of a styrofoam cup, which I thought was interesting, because when her body breaks it breaks like you know how when you accidentally puncture a styrofoam cup, that's what it looks like.
Right.
It's terrifying.
Yeah, it's
like it just goes like
yeah, it's really intense. And like you know, thinking about the audience, if you were like a younger kid and you're here for the Twilight movie and maybe you're not really into horror movie stuff, like some of this stuff would be a bit much.
Yeah.
We get to the delivery. Rosalie cuts open Bella, but then, oh no, now she wants to drink Bella's blood. So everyone has to like leave. And then like Carlisle and all of them, they were out hunting. So like they're not around to help with the delivery. And so guess what? The only two people around who can help deliver this baby is Edward and Jacob. And you know what? I actually kind of liked that.
Yeah.
Like it was kind of like
yeah, I'm not really sure why. Like why couldn't Alice just take care of her? Well, I guess Jasper's a mess, so
right.
He had to go too.
Yeah, it's funny because like
that's a really like big plot contrivance. Because like, why was she all of a sudden like overcome with? I gotta like you've never been that way with her before. It should have been Jasper to do that.
Right. Yeah, it's pretty funny that everyone's like, no, we totally got all of our like bloodlust for Bella under control. It's cool. It's all okay. And then when a massive amount of blood comes out, they're like, oh, actually, we can't be here. And then Edward like bites the baby out.
Yeah, as one does.
It's insane. It's intense. And then I was like, okay, is the baby gonna try to like eat Bella? And I think the baby does like try to bite at her, right?
I don't know what's going on in that scene. I'm sorry. There's a lot of like just fade in, fade out, screaming.
Yes, yeah.
There's a lot of visuals. I don't remember the baby trying to eat her.
Yeah, I think like he puts Renesmee on her, and then Renesmee like goes to like bite her or something, and like they take her away. So now Edward hits Bella with a giant syringe of his venom, like it's Pulp Fiction,
as one does.
Where is like the venom gland on a vampire? Like they can just like suck out their venom and store it?
Well, I mean, Carlisle's a doctor, so he probably had him do that in advance. True. Or like it would make sense for them to have it on hand already, you know?
I guess, but then like it doesn't work. And so then he's just like biting her like all over her body.
Well, because she already flatlined by then. They should have done it before.
Yeah, I knew that she wasn't gonna die. I don't know. Like, did you see this in theaters when it came out?
I actually think we bought this video and watched it. But you know, I already read the books, and I mean, you can kind of tell like they're not going to kill her off. But I just remember thinking like when I finally watched it, this is like really visually intense, and I was not expecting all that. So I do think it's gripping in that sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's well done. Like, I don't think that it's I don't think that it's not well done. It's just like knowing that it's part one of a movie that clearly Bella's going to be a part of. It's like, okay, like I don't know who takes the baby, if it's Rosalie or Alice, but someone takes the baby. And then Jacob goes into that.
Rosalie comes back and she's like, I'm okay. I'm all right.
Right.
I'm fine. And she takes the baby, yeah.
Yeah. Just kidding, guys. Just kidding.
Fuck you.
So Jacob goes into the room and then I guess
and
he
imprints. Don't give a shit about, I'm sorry. She does not care that Bella is there just dead on that bench. She does not care at all. She's like, give me that baby.
Yeah, I guess
give me that baby. I don't care.
Yeah, she really doesn't care. So yeah, Jacob imprints on this baby.
Well, first they had to. This is one thing I noticed because I was surprised in rewatching it that Jacob was like there and he saw the baby because it's very much like they stress. Oh, once you see this person, you'll imprint on them. He saw the baby, but it was all bloody. It wasn't until they cleaned the baby that it was like, oh, I imprinted. They had to clean all the blood off first. Because he's going in there to kill the baby because that's what he tells Sam.
When babies are first born, they are not cute. So I understand.
Right. But I don't really think something as fantastical as we're led to believe as imprinting should get in the way of that. If I'm covered in blood and I'm your imprinting person, you should still imprint on me. I don't know.
So I guess obviously we can't talk about it too much because I'm sure it goes into like the next movie and stuff. But like Jacob kind of like sees the future a little bit. Like he sees Renesmee like getting older.
Well, it's interesting because his little voiceover kind of explains it all. That little voiceover that was like a callback to a conversation that he had with Leah and Seth.
Yeah.
Where he's like, oh, this is what, basically explaining to the audience, this is what imprinting means. It's like, which is very much like this whole thing is very controversial when it came out and continues to be. It's like, well, oh, like he fell in love with this baby. And then the explanation is like, no, like that's just like his person. And so if she's a baby, that's he's her babysitter.
Yeah.
It don't make sense. But like once she becomes developed, maybe, and it's like, oh, okay, so is this kind of icky or what is this,
Yeah, and I guess that was my question for you is like, is it because he says something like you'll be her brother or her protector or whatever she needs. I guess I understand this if it's like not romantic, because like, I mean, like, look, I have nieces and nephews and I have close friends who've had kids, and there is something special about like when you like meet that person as a baby and you're like, okay, yeah, I'm going to like help take care of you. And so like, is imprinting like necessarily romantic, I guess is my question.
Well, I think that's what he's saying is that it evolves. But it also, now that I think of it, it raises more questions because it's like, well, wouldn't that person need to be interested in you too? With imprinting, can they be? Do they have to be in? What if they're not into you?
Right? Is it?
What if she doesn't like Jacob when she's older and developed?
Right? Is there a reverse imprint?
Is it required for them? Yeah. What if she like changes her mind? Like, I don't like you, Jacob.
Right.
I don't like wolves.
Right.
You actually smell.
Right.
And is he just gonna constantly be like, "What? I'm your brother. I'm your boyfriend. I'm your protector. Get away from me."
Right.
You knew me when you were changing my nappies. Get away from me.
Yeah, it's weird. And I hope they kind of explain it a little bit in the next movie. But so as all this is happening, the Cullens are like fighting off the werewolves, and there's this big fight. And then once Jacob imprints on her, on Renesmee, he just like runs out into the middle of them, and it's like everyone just understands that like it's like, oh, Jacob is imprinted on her.
First he has to tear off his clothes first. No, first he like tears off his clothes like he always does. And then he's like, I don't know, he says something in his little strained voice. And then I guess they kind of telepathically communicate that. And it's like, okay, that's it.
Yeah, show's over, folks. Edward is very upset, thinking that Bella is dead. And then we get a cool, CGI tour through Bella's veins, I guess. And everything turns to ice. And then her eyes open and they're blood red. And the movie ends.
Right.
And I thought it was kind of a good ending. But yeah, that's the movie. I kind of feel like they stretched this out to be 2 parts. I don't know. Is there like a lot that happens in the next one that they needed to do to split this up?
No, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like a third of that movie is credits.
The next one?
They have big intro credits introducing like every tertiary character. They'll be like, hey, it's Eric. Like, bitch, you weren't even in this movie. I don't care.
Okay, all right. So they were just trying to double
Eric, it's Jessica.
Right.
Yeah, no, they were just doing the Harry Potter.
All right. So the budget for this was 110 million, but the budget on this kind of, I don't want to say is confusing, but they filmed both movies concurrently, and that was like a really big jump up from their previous budgets. So I'm wondering if that's kind of the budget for both. But this made $712 million at the box office, which was a jump up from the last movie. This this currently only has a 26% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is pretty low, maybe like the lowest of all of these.
Pretty bad.
2.7 on Letterboxd, 45 on Metacritic. This is not in the Criterion Collection, nor is it in the National Registry. Ebert, who gave the first Twilight movie a 2.5 and then New Moon a 1.
He didn't understand it.
I can't remember what he gave Eclipse, but it was higher than a 1. Anyway, for this one, he gave it a 2.5. He was back up on this one. So I think that this like proves.
What does he say in his review?
Oh, he thinks it's very funny that like this whole series, kind of like what you said, is like very chaste while also trying to be erotic. So he thought it was very funny that like all of this is like building up to Bella and Edward having sex, and then we don't even see it. Yeah, I think Ebert got a little like involved.
We see them have sex.
No, I mean, like he says, like it cuts away, and it's like
Ebert.
Like, what did you want to see? You know what I mean?
Right.
All right.
I mean, I guess he thought it was going to be like Fatal Attractions or something.
Right.
I don't know.
Right. All right. Let's do our happies and crappies.
It's time for happies and crappies. Happies and crappies. It's time for happies and crappies. Happies and crappies. It's time for happies.
Time has come.
Okay, so my happy is what I mentioned earlier. I really like when Bella and Edward kiss at their wedding and then everyone disappears. I thought that was a nice little I just thought it was a nice little camera trick. And then my crappy is
it was very long, wasn't it?
It was very long. Yes. It was extremely like normally at your wedding you don't like kiss 20 times.
Kind of uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My crappy for this movie is all of the green screens. It's really noticeable and really distracting. It's a shame because like from the first in the first Twilight, you know, there was very little green screen or VFX. A lot of stuff was done practically in camera. And this one, it just feels like they're in front of a screen a lot of the time. So yeah, what about you?
Damn, Seth, you reminded me we didn't talk about that message I sent you about that weird couple.
Oh yeah,
maybe that can be one
pack.
of my happies or crappies. Well, because it was just weird. There was like this weird close up, like to their faces. Jacob's like really mad for like the 100th time in this movie, and he's running away, and he almost crashes into this truck full of these people, and I for a moment just kind of forgot what the rest of the plot of this movie was, and it was like, okay, are these people going to become a part of the story? Are they going to become like werewolf hunters or something?
Right.
And it just kind of made it more interesting because it was just like a close up to their super expressive faces, and then you never see them again. So I don't know. So that's a happy, I guess. Well, my happy is really how sweet they are on their honeymoon. My crappy is just Jacob, just his attitude. He's annoying. Oh, and Alice too. Everybody was just like really crappy to Bella in this movie, and she's pregnant with a demon spawn. It's not fair.
Demons. I think Jacob at one point says something like, "Well, I'm not the one with a demon inside of me," or something.
Oh, he says
I
that?
think so. Yeah, it's like,
I
oh
wouldn't
my
put it
god,
past him.
man. All right, so we asked some friends online what they thought, and for the first time in a very long time, and maybe only the second time in the history of this show, we didn't get any responses on Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 1. So
I told you, nobody likes this movie.
we're just going to go straight into our segment where we hear from people that we don't know. It's called Half Star, 3-star, 5-star. These are reviews from letterboxd.com, which is a website and an app where you can log, rate, and review movies. We start with a half-star review, which is the lowest rating that you can give a film. We go all the way up to a 5-star review, which is the highest rating that you can give a film. And every episode, I read the half-star review in either an accent or an impersonation. Jamila, do you have any requests?
Yeah, hold on, let me think. I'm trying to think of something like, maybe just do like a Jacob impersonation.
Oof, I don't know if I can do that. Jacob. What does Jacob sound like?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of, what did I watch recently? And you can do that character. I'm trying. No, I want you to do like a Southern voice.
Southern?
Do
Okay.
that.
I'll be
Yeah.
Jasper.
Yo, Jasper. I guess the only time he had a Southern voice is when he's talking about, I was a Confederate soldier. Like, bitch, that came out of nowhere. As soon as you're telling us you're a Confederate soldier, you're Southern.
Yep, pretty much. Okay, so Southern, let's see. Howdy, y'all. Hello, my name is Seth, and I like the movies. Is that good?
It's not good, but continue.
Okay, all right. So here's a half-star review read by just a normal Southern guy. To be frank, I like the franchise and the series of films more than most other people do, for which I have my own masochistic reasons. But this was dreadful. I watched this in cinema, and the guy sitting near me puked down almost a whole bucket. True. This was so
What?
irritating and nauseating.
Was he pregnant with a vampire baby?
I don't know, but I picked this one because I guess he's claiming that this movie was so bad that a guy in the movie theater puked in his bucket. I cannot.
He just had a bucket to puke in.
I can't confirm that happened, but this seems a little dramatic.
No, because why would you have a bucket to puke in?
Well, a popcorn bucket.
Oh, that's what you meant. I thought he just.
Well, that's what I assumed. If you're in the movie theater, usually you have a popcorn bucket.
Okay. But he says bucket. Okay.
All right. The 3-star review says, while the melodrama and cringe-worthy dialogue remains, Stewart and Patterson drop their monotonous acting and deliver something different. Stewart particularly does a good job. The problem still remains the script, but this time around, I found myself enjoying the silliness. Okay, and the 5-star review says, I adore this film. At turns, it is playful, campy, disgusting, depressing, and absurd. Of particular note is director Bill Condon's descent into full-blown Cronenberg body horror in the third act of the film, rendering some of the most effective and disturbing iconography of horror filmmaking in the last decade. This is my favorite installment in a series that I love completely. I think it's a really special film.
I think that person's a little biased.
Well, I mean, it is a 5-star review, so. But yeah, I mean, I guess it's kind of fascinating to think of this one as someone's favorite in the series.
Yeah, because the really good stuff is the next one, which you haven't seen. You don't know anything that happens in the next one?
I
Or
know a
you're just
little bit.
pretending
I
that
know
you
a little
don't?
bit just through cultural osmosis. But okay, so we rate a movie as a schmovie, a movie, or a film, and we rate it 1 through 5 stars. Jamila, you are the fill-in host here, so if you want to go first, I guessed for you that you were going to rate this a 3-star movie.
No.
Oh,
I rated it 2.5.
I was close.
So where's my pickle?
Oh, well, no, you don't get a pickle just because I guessed it wrong. You get one if you guess my rating right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Well, aren't you supposed to guess if I said it was a schmovie movie or
Well, I did.
something?
I said 3-star
Or film?
movie.
Yeah, no, it's a 2.5-star schmovie.
Whoa.
I'm not really sure what a schmovie is.
Well, it's an ever expanding category. Okay, so what's your guess for me?
I'm just thinking about the pickle I'm gonna miss out on if I get this wrong. Sorry. I guess just a 3-star movie. I don't know.
Hey, you're correct actually.
Oh, for real?
Yeah,
So I do get a pickle, huh?
yeah. I
Can you send me a pickle beer instead? I would like a pickle beer.
sure. Yeah, I think that this one's fine. It's definitely stretched out. Like there's not a lot that happens here. We do get a lot of hangout time, and I think for the people who enjoy these characters and were on this journey as they were releasing, it was probably nice to hang out with them. But yeah, this probably would be my least favorite of the movies so far. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you? How would you rank these?
It would be number 1 is New Moon, number 2 is Twilight, number 3 is Breaking Dawn Part 2, number 4 is Breaking Dawn Part 1, number 5 is Eclipse.
Wow.
I don't care about Eclipse.
Wow, you really hate Eclipse. Hey, if you don't hate us as much as Jamila hates Eclipse, we'd love it if you give us a rating and a review wherever you are listening. If you're listening on Spotify, you can give us a comment right on the episode. If you don't know what to say, just leave us an emoji, whatever. It's helpful, and we like to hear from you. So please go ahead. You can also send us an email, moviefriendspodcast@gmail.com. Let us know what you thought about Breaking Dawn Part 1. And if you've been following along and listening, hey, you know what? Why don't you send your predictions for what we're going to think about Breaking Dawn Part 2? You can also support the show, patreon.com/moviefriendspodcast. $5 a month gets you access to all of our additional episodes, our patron-only Discord. You get to vote on upcoming movies and monthly themes. You get ad-free episodes. And hey, folks, listen, we're not just taking that money and using it to, fly out to Isle Esme. We're actually going to be making a movie that we're in the process of making right now. And your funds go to fund that project. So if you like movies, ones that maybe will be on the same quality level of Breaking Dawn Part 1, I don't know, you can show your support that way. All right, next week, we're going to be talking about the Twilight Saga, Breaking Dawn Part 2, the only movie in the series to have a director come back, Bill Condon, 115 minutes. And yeah, I can't believe that we've been talking about Twilight for 5 weeks in a row.
Are you tired of it?
I'm not tired of it, but what I will say is it's been very hard for me to kind of keep straight like what movie I have to watch next versus what movie we just did and then what movie I'm like editing. So that's been kind of weird because normally we just move on to the next thing. So like I'm
And because they're all so similar, like they're so different though.
yeah, they are, but it's just weird like being in the headspace of like the next movie and the previous movie kind of all at the same time. Because like we record this and then I edit it while I'm getting ready for the next one. So yeah, it's I'm not tired of it, but it's a lot to balance those at the same time.
Right.
Well, hey, Jamila, thank you very much for coming on and for filling in for Michelle. I really appreciate you taking your time and being part of this Twilight journey.
Thanks for having me.
And hey, thank you very much for listening. And remember, folks, childhood is the kingdom where nobody dies. Until next week, when we're talking about Breaking Dawn Part 2, thank you for listening. Have a good one.
Oh, Kristen Stewart, I want to be your vampire boyfriend. You are so beautiful and delicious, and you smell so good. I just want to eat you, but I'm not gonna, 'cause that would make you a vampire like me. Being a vampire is terrible, except for the fact that I can read people's minds. And my skin is really silvery, shiny, sparkly in the sun. And I can climb up trees and jump real far, and I never die. But besides that, it's terrible, oh so terrible. Oh, Kristen Stewart, I wanna be your vampire boyfriend. I wanna take you to the prom, even if you broke your leg. Oh, Kristen Stewart, I wanna dance with you at the prom. I don't care if you don't like to dance, you can stand on my feet. Oh, Kristen Stewart, you're so beautiful. I wanna be your vampire boyfriend. But I don't want you to be cursed into becoming a vampire like I am, 'cause being a vampire is terrible. Sure, most people would want to never ever die, but there's something not so great about living forever and falling in love and watching people grow old and die. Oh, Kristen Stewart, I wanna be your vampire boyfriend. What do you say? What do you say? What do you say? What do you say? Oh, Kristen Stewart, I wanna be your vampire boyfriend. Let's go to prom. What do you say, Kristen? Can I take you to prom? What do you say, Kristen? Can I be your vampire boyfriend?